Most organizations talk about AI adoption as if it begins when the model is built. In reality, AI success starts long before the first line of code or model training step. Whether you're an IT leader, systems integrator, enterprise architect, or operations manager, the real determinant of AI success is your readiness, both technical and organizational. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Analytics Insight podcast, where we talk about the ever evolving tech space. And I'm your host, Priya Diyalani. Artificial intelligence is fundamentally changing how organizations compete, but the real value lies beyond just implementing AI tools. Executive teams seeking tangible results find that fragmented data, disconnected collaboration platforms, and inconsistent governance are not minor technical issues. They are major structural obstacles to successful AI adoption. Let's welcome Amit Chandak, Chief Analytics Officer at Kanerika, to discuss more about how you can be an AI ready organization. Hi, Amit. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and thanks for inviting me to Analytics Inside podcast.
Great. It's a pleasure to have you on our podcast today, Amit. And I mean, AI is everywhere and everybody is learning and talking about AI. But how can one be efficient and effective enough to embrace this AI technology effectively? I think there is a lot more to discuss about it. And we will be unlocking that in our conversation today, Amit, with you, of course. But before we dive deeper into it, let's set the foundation and tell our listeners more about Kanerika, a very interesting name, I must say. And if you could also help us understand its specialization or services, and a little bit more about you, Amit. How has your journey been till date, and what exactly is your role at Kanerika today?
Okay, so first of all, I'll start with Kanerika. So Kanerika is a 10-year-old organization primarily focused on data and analytics. Uh, we focus on building the solutions which can help people to get insights from data and taking it to the next level by suggesting what next step they can do. They can identify discrepancies, gaps, fill them with the perspective and predictive or prescriptive analytics. So they can identify the gaps and fill them using prescriptive and predictive analytics. This journey of Kanerika is over last 10 years is all about making the customer journey data-driven journey. Now, today, the era of AI. This era of AI is also the outcome of the journey which we are doing for last few years to make the organization data-driven. A data-driven organization can only be a AI-driven organization. If you are having quality data, you can become, and the Canerica is partnering with the organization for that. Canerica, along with this focus on services and partner with Microsoft, Databricks, Snowflakes, and Claude, we are also having our own internal tool like Flip, which can help you not only transforming your data using AI, but can also help you in predicting what is going to happen in future. We have product like Call where you can talk with your data. It can tell you insights about your data. It can help you in visualizing that and getting communication with your data to get the more and more deeper insights. We have tools like Scrum Master Agent, which can help you running your Scrum calls. So these are the various other initiatives. Other than that, we have very good understanding of data migration space. And this data migration space is not only migrating data from one source to another, but there is a bigger scope for migration from one tool to another. The things are changing. Everybody want to be on cloud and latest technology. And that is where Canerica is bringing various migration tools from legacy to the modern cloud tools so that you can be on Microsoft Fabric, you can be on Power BI, you can be on Databricks or Snowflake or DBT, migrating from your existing infrastructure, the legacy infrastructure, to these using our accelerator in weeks or months, not in years. So that is where Canerica stands. It's an organization which will help you to make sure that your data works for you and making sure you are an organization which is taking full advantage of data and AI. This is part one. Then the second question you asked about me. So I started my career with Oracle in 2003, and I have been in data analytics space only. I joined the BI team of Oracle. At that time, it was known as DBI. I stayed there for 6 years and learned the how this entire ecosystem of data analytics works, what role it plays. After that, along with one of my colleagues, I founded a BI tools company, and I was there for next 10 years building tools and technology that helps people to gather insight. After I came out of my entrepreneurial journey, I joined Kanerika as Chief Analytics Officer and joined the journey of data and making it workable for the customers. And since then, for last 7 years, I'm there with Kanerika, and we are now a Microsoft Fabric featured partner. We are partners in various areas with Microsoft, Databricks, and Snowflake. So that's my journey.
Great. Thank you for that overview, Amit. And we are really glad to learn about the journey of Kanerika and also the unique value it brings to the industry. And alongside that, we are also glad to understand about you and your journey and how you are at the forefront of navigating the industry shifts and shaping the strategic direction of the company. So, with that foundation set in place, Amit, organizations today are treating AI more like a household appliance, just plug and play. This intensifies as they move beyond and assume they are ready to flip a switch on generative AI or predictive modeling just because they have a data warehouse and a few dashboards. I think this is a high stakes delusion. True AI readiness is not about how many GPUs you can rent or which LLM you license. It is about whether your data infrastructure is capable of providing the context and reliability that AI requires to function without any hallucination. So, to begin with, how would you define an AI ready organization? And why do you believe AI readiness extends far beyond choosing the right models or deploying the latest AI tools?
See, today our understanding of AI, from most of the time, everyone is excited because they teach these LLMs, co-pilots, and data agent, and think that we can quickly discover AI because we have data. But it's a journey basically, and if this journey has few things which we need to address. One is we need to have quality data, quality organized data coming at one place and ready to for consumption. The second part which the organization misses when we talk about quality data is that all our processes also need to be documented, because AI is not just giving you a forecast, it's also about automating your process. So AI has much bigger scope than just building those models and okay, it predicts me for something. But what next? I can tell you are not doing great business and you can do these things, but how do you going to execute it? And execution happen via process, and that is where the process need to be documented. So you need to have quality data, and you need to have all the process in place, well documented, that okay, if this happens, what is the action we are going to take so that we can do this complete end-to-end automation. Organization often ask which AI model should use. The better question would be, can our AI trust our enterprise data and process? So data is most important, but yes, the process to execute it, to take the full advantage, is also important. If your data has inconsistency, duplicates, spread across ERP operational system, lack governance, which is really important, your AI model cannot be reliable. So governance, lineage, quality data is something which is going to make you ready. So we believe AI readiness start long before models selection. It start building modern data foundation that provide consistent, governed, and trusted business information, which can be utilized by any AI platform.
That was a very wonderful perspective, Amit. And I think, yes, AI readiness isn't simply about adopting any cutting edge technology. It's about creating the right foundation across people, processes, governance, and even culture. I mean, I understand that many organizations are eager to embrace AI, but the real differentiator lies in whether they are prepared to integrate it responsibly, securely, and at scale. I think without that groundwork, even the most advanced AI models can struggle to deliver meaningful business value. So I think that brings us to another aspect of our conversation today, Amit. The reality of AI adoption, particularly in 2026, is that AI capability is advancing faster than organizational capability. I think, AI is more of a leadership than a technology challenge. This was said by Dan Taylor, who is Google's VP of Global Ads. While many companies have access to powerful AI tools, most lack the operational foundations needed to scale AI effectively. And like you mentioned in your earlier response, there are enterprises who might struggle with fragmented data or talent gaps, or again, hallucination or data bias. So, while organizations are investing heavily in AI today, many initiatives fail to move beyond the pilot stage or the proof of concept stage. From your experience, what are the biggest roadblocks preventing them from scaling AI successfully?
See, the when we talk about roadblocks, let's come to the basics. So one of the things which we always used to talk when we were in the business intelligence space, which is the basics, I think 20 years back, is garbage in and garbage out. Now, in case of AI, we say bad data, bad AI. Or unless you don't have trusted data, you cannot have trusted AI. So the basic foundation or the roadblock for any organization is the fragmented data. The data should be integrated, enterprise level, all connected with a story. Now, this is where something we call about ontology these days. And there it is not about having your data just having at one place. It's also about how this data and work along with the process. So that is where we need to be ready with, these are my quality data entities and how they relate with each others, what function they achieve using that. For that, the roadblocks we need to remove is we need to one bring in all the fragmented data at one place. We need to put stricter quality control, and better to have quality control at the source level. Then if one most thing we have to do, we are living in an era we cannot have one ERP, we cannot have one CRM, we cannot have one system. So master data management. If you're not doing master data management, another big hurdle. What happens when this entire data comes together? You will not be able to analyze it together because the item A in one system could be item B in another system. So that is really important. Then something we call metadata, the definition of data. It's really important. I've seen many times in the organization that we have multiple definitions. When you talk about, let's say, sales, it's very simple. The definition of sales may vary from finance department from the sales department. So that is where, this metadata or, unified definition of KPI comes in. You may call it once as sales and once as finance sales or revenue, but you need to agree on that. So different definitions of matrices, another hurdle you need to cover. Governance is really important. If we do not have this data governance and lineage piece missing, how my data is governed, where it is lying, what meaning it has, what role it is going to play, and am I able to track back? If I don't have the lineage, it's again a big hurdle. So these are the few things which could become a roadblock in giving you a quality AI, which we need to address. And it is all about data governance and process.
Hmm. Right, right. And it's very interesting that while AI has become a boardroom priority for organizations across industries, the real challenge is no longer about experimenting with the technology. It's about embedding it into the fabric of the business. And as you highlighted, issues like the data quality, governance, even change management, and aligning AI initiatives with measurable business outcomes often become the defining factors between isolated success stories and enterprise-wide transformation. Moving ahead, now I'm going back to one of case studies. FedEx once was faced with a data issue that probably hindered the growth. Hundreds of small business customers browsing FedEx.com for international shipping rates would abandon their shipping rate quotes similar to how consumers abandon their shopping carts. FedEx had to wait 3 weeks for a manual process to cross reference recent web activity with shipping info and identify which customers who abandoned the site would be open to a new code. By then, sales were lost, of course. The issue facing FedEx was lack of unified data. This type of issue isn't unique to just FedEx. The average company uses over 1,000 applications and 70% remain disconnected, leaving opportunities for growth on the table. For organizations that are dealing with multiple legacy applications and siloed data, how does a journey look like when they're moving towards a unified data foundation?
See, what we are discussing here is one of the very common problem, and this is one problem we are talking since the beginning of data analytics journey is that silos data system. The data is lying in silos. They are not connected. The complete picture is not available, and because of which it delays the decision making. And that is where the entire process of the data analytics has been bought, where we wanted to bring this entire data into connected manner, where we want to bring a single source of truth, or we say connected enterprise system, which have your all the data assets with common dimensionality or common attributes across which it can analyze. Where it is connected, we clean it up and get ready with the standard business definitions. We establish a data governance so that the data is properly connected. It's not creating data silos. The things are not decided alone. It's visible to everyone, even if decision is taking somewhere else. Creating of a centralized data platform is one of the keys to address this. And this is a must for any organization which has a lot of system where the data is residing and could have the challenge what you have mentioned at the start. Like if you don't have the information who are my customers, who could be my potential customers, who came and visited our website or just walked in, looked at our products and went away, they could have bought something else, or maybe they bought competitor product if we don't have some of the features available. So all these things, whenever are trackable, should become part of your centralized system and made available for data analytics to build a trusted analysis on top of this. And AI can help on all these things. When you have these kind of scenarios where you say, okay, these are the things which are happening, and if the data is properly available, AI can really add value by analyzing potential opportunities for that. So create a connected, centralized, clean, governed system is the key for starting any AI process.
That's a valuable perspective, Amit. And this is because many enterprises find themselves in exactly that situation, trying to modernize while still relying on decades of legacy infrastructure. And again, I think building a unified data foundation isn't just aggregating or consolidating your applications together. It's about creating a single source of truth that enables decision making, improves collaboration across teams, and lays the groundwork for AI and advanced analytics. And again, this transformation is a journey and not just a one time project. Mindset shift is also required from leaders at their end and ensure that they are integrating that within their culture as well. Great. Moving ahead, Amit, I think you also spoke about how governance and people are important in truly building and AI technology rather than just a technology, but more like which is weaved into the fabric of the entire business. Now many companies are discovering that successful AI initiatives they aren't limited to the availability of models like you mentioned, they are limited to the quality or accessibility and governance of their data. Now, here's the thing, striking the right balance is becoming one of the biggest challenges. On one hand, teams need the freedom to experiment, innovate, and iterate quickly. On the other, organizations also have to ensure data security, regulatory compliance, trust, especially when AI is deployed at scale across these critical business functions. So many organizations struggle to balance innovation with governance. How do you think they can build data environments that are both flexible enough for AI experimentation and governed enough for enterprise scale deployment?
See, data governance and security is one of the utmost priority of all the organization. So when we create these enterprise-wise data integration system, now that system would have everything. Now it may have the data which also require protection, the PII protection and everything. And that is where we need to define the governance rule for each and every entity what we are building it. So we solve the purpose of integration. We solve the purpose of data quality. We even solve the purpose of, let's say, master data integration. Now comes in the governance and security aspect of the data. Who can look at what? So these are the things which need to be defined before providing access to the data. So we need, and that is what we call the various level of security: meta security, data security, or the row level security, or even sometimes we call the entity or the column level security. So that is where we apply different rules, and all the modern tools, whether they are BI tools or AI tools, are capable of doing that. So we may do data masking, we do protection of personal information, we hide the complete entities from a set of user by doing the governance at the various levels by allowing them access to a particular set of data. We further go down and hide certain set of information, the entity level information, even the column level information from certain set of user, or mask that. And finally, not allowing to see certain users certain set of data. Both of us might be looking at same information, same report, but might be looking at the data what we have access to. And this all comes under data governance and security. So we need to have a comprehensive rule definition. What are the user, what data they can see, at what granularity they can see, what data need masking, all these need to be defined. So that is where the data governance comes in play. We have tools which can do across the board for this one inside few ecosystem, but still, because we are in an era where we have multiple ecosystems of where the data can be shared, we need to put the governance in place for each and every endpoint from where the data is getting available for anyone for the consumption. So all those consumption endpoints need to apply these data governance and security rules to make sure that the data, only that part of the data which is that person is authorized to use, is able to see. It start with the authorization, the single sign-on, or the logins post that what data you can see, what data you can see with masking, what level of raw data you can see. All those need to be applied at all the endpoints. And this is one of the most critical aspect to have the AI, because while you can build in the model on the complete data, or while there are certain people who need to provide the access to the data to build model also need to be secure, both need to be taken care of. Because we always think about security at the end user. Okay, person X should not see that data. Developers usually have the access to that. But now in the modern environment, where the definition of developer is not the development, the previously what we have, it's basically the end user having the access to a set of data, can do their own analysis, can develop their own model and do this. So in that case, we need to be making sure the people who can further do analysis on that data, those endpoints are also secure. So secure every endpoint. And that is where, these days we have integrated systems like Microsoft Fabric has come in, even Databricks is coming up with that kind of system where, you have these, every possible endpoint, every possible analysis what you wanted to do is possible using one single system. And then all the endpoints are getting secure with the central security. And there are governance tools which are also there, like Microsoft Preview, which can help you in doing that. So we need to have this consideration of securing all the endpoints and governing them when we are providing the data access, to make sure that this journey of AI is not creating any hassle, which is basically because of the person getting access to unauthorized data.
I agree with you, Amit, and I think, organizations don't have to choose between innovation and governance. Both are important, and it's about creating an environment where both can coexist. And enterprises need data ecosystems that empower teams to experiment and build new AI applications while also ensuring that the security or data quality and accountability remain embedded at every stage of the process. I think establishing that balance becomes a very critical differentiator for companies who are deploying AI rather than just a technical requirement.
That's really important.
Yeah, yeah. And with that being said, Amit, with the overall conversation we had about AI readiness and what are certain aspects we need to consider, I think it's important that the priority for organizations should be to create the right foundation that can support AI at scale. So, one last question for you is if you were advising a business leader who is about to begin their AI transformation journey today, what are three investments or priorities you would recommend them to focus to ensure long-term success?
So, see, one of the straightforward things what we have is basically don't begin with AI. You cannot begin your journey with AI. It's a journey which is beginning much before that. So, we need to have an enterprise wide integrated quality system built in. We need to have the governance and security rules in place. And we need to enable the self service environment so that we are not limiting the development of AI or analytics with the few set of users. It is a democratization which is governed and secure by our processes.
Great, Amit. Thank you for your valuable insights. And I think moving towards AI readiness uh, is a deliberate transition, shifting from centralized static data to more agile and AI capable data platforms. So instead of asking how much data do we have, we need to ask how much of our data is discoverable and trustworthy for a machine. And again, thank you for helping us understand that AI is not a project, AI is an operational capability, and readiness is how you build it. Thank you for your insights, Amit, for our conversation today. It was lovely chatting with you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. See, AI is not going to replace the need of good data. It's going to amplify it. Organization need to invest in trusted, governed, and data integration today so
Mm-hmm.
that they can get value of data using AI tomorrow. And
Right.
that is the key focus all the organization should have going forward.
True, I agree with you, Amit. And that was a very powerful conclusion to end our conversation today. Thank you so much. So, this is for our listeners. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion around AI readiness. What are certain challenges that you might face? What are certain ways you can tackle those challenges and ensure that you have successful AI initiatives with proper governance and proper quality of data? Stay tuned for upcoming episodes, and you can view all our previous episodes on Spotify and other leading platforms. Thank you so much.